what the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serge Delmar, and you are watching SPTV, where if you didn't know, now you know. And in this episode of What is Scientology So Afraid of, I wanted to give you guys a statement that discusses the framework for our next episode and what we're going to get in the weeds of. So, the title of the next video that we're going to watch is How Scientology Traps Minors with Systemically Confiscated Passports, that attorney Monique Yingling has been pitching as so-called religious volunteers. And this is a very serious subject, you guys. Confiscating the personal identification and passports of minors is actually a very, very, very illegal activity. So when we were there, we had no idea that that was an illegal activity, and we had no way of knowing. They normalized it all for us, and it just became like just another thing that we would have done, and we had no way of understanding the level of illegality involved in this systemic confiscation of passports. So here's the statement that I prepared that I want to share with you guys. We're going to go through the chilling details of our very own haunting experiences as minors locked inside Scientology hotels, where as literal kids, we were put in the unthinkable, nightmarish situation of our passports and personal IDs ruthlessly seized by heartless Scientology executives that had literally no care in the world about following any laws. In the United States, child trafficking and confiscating passports from minors are serious criminal offenses that are addressed by several federal laws. Number one, Trafficking Victims Protection Act, enacted in 2000 and reauthorized multiple times. The TVPA provides tools to combat human trafficking, including child trafficking, and it defines trafficking in persons and sets forth penalties for those involved in such heinous crimes. Number two, Mann Act, the White Slave Traffic Act. Originally passed in 1910, the Mann Act makes it illegal to transport individuals across state lines for immoral purposes, including forced labor or commercial sex acts. This law has been used in the cases involving child trafficking. Number three, 18 U.S.C. Code 1591, sex trafficking of children by force, fraud, or coercion. This federal law specifically targets those who engage in sex trafficking of children or use force, fraud, or coercion to compel a person to engage in a commercial sex act. Number four, 18 U.S.C. Code 2421, transportation of minors. This law makes it a federal crime to knowingly transport minors across state lines or internationally with the intent to engage in unlawful activities. Number five, 18 U.S.C. Code 2422, coercion and enticement of minors. This law prohibits using any means of interstate commerce, such as the internet, to coerce, entice, or persuade minors to engage in any unlawful activity. Number six, 18 U.S.C. Code 2423, transportation of minors for criminal sexual activity. This statute makes it a federal crime to transport minors across state lines or internationally with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. These laws are utterly toothless, as evidenced by how no one in the state of Florida has bothered to enforce any laws on the books. Apparently, they don't take any of this seriously, as evidenced by how they have trivialized all of our personal accounts and experiences inside these lawless hotels, where apparently everything goes. And no minors are good enough for the Clearwater police to protect whatsoever. We were effectively held captive, stripping away our freedom and identity, while attorney Monique Yingling shamelessly deflects all manner of softball questions about how she's running a totally legit non-prison hotel operation. Meanwhile, her clients, either behind her back or worse, with her blessing, has allowed for this highly illegal, unthinkable practice to be done throughout the years that I was personally locked up, in the years that Debbie Cook was the so-called captain of that disgusting child abuse-ridden hotel. All of it was highly premeditated and coordinated internal, with the intention to illegally control the movement of all of us as minors and prevent us from being able to escape the brutal conditions that Yingling, with a straight face, keeps pitching as a worker's paradise. This video is an urgent call to action, shedding light on the dark depths of Scientology's manipulative tactics against minors. Join us as we fiercely advocate for justice and demand an end to the appalling abuse inflicted upon innocent minors. Stand with us against this harrowing reality that must be exposed and stopped. Period. Full stop. So that is what I wanted to communicate as a reference of the next video that we're going to get into the subject and the specifics. And the video with Ron MISCAVIGE presents a lot of opportunity to contextualize so much of what has not been reported on the public record until now. God knows why, you guys. So thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. We're going to continue dismantling all of the corruption that has been put in place so that adults could run their little hotel, whatever is being called by themselves, by their delusions of the felon that they're all about propping up and purporting that is a very whatever it is that they call it. So please continue to ask questions. Continue to ask questions of the Clearwater Police Department, who, literally being the neighbor of these people, could not be any less clueless about how to enforce any of the laws on the books. And before anybody goes, but they have no idea that they're doing this, wrong, you guys. We will be exposing how much they actually do know, this Clearwater Police, and how much they actually do not care. So thank you so much for paying attention to this horrific situation. And we will continue to advocate nonstop until there are no more kids in Scientology. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you soon.